What's up, Scouts and Scouters? It's Pearson. I'm here with my pal Molloy. He's another Trailblazer Scoutcraft guy from West Camp, and we are here today to start off a short little series of first aid related videos. Okay, we're going to start with some of the more easy situations that you might have to deal with. So first, let's start off with cuts and scrapes.
So, you guys might be wondering, what's the first step you take once you get a cut or a scrape, something minor. So, say you're riding your skateboard, you fall off, and you scrape your knee, right? The first thing you're going to want to do is clean the wound. So, first and foremost, use your soap and water, your alcohol pads, whatever it is. Make sure you clean that cut real well to make sure it stays disinfected. Next off, what you're going to do is you're going to cover the wound, whether it be with a Band-Aid or if it's really bad, even a gauze pad and some tape. You just want to cover it up, make sure that stays out of harmful conditions. You don't want any dirt or any grossness to get into your wound, right?
One of the other things you can do, put a little triple antibiotic ointment on top of that cut or scrape just to help it stay moist and hydrated, and it'll also help the healing process. Next, one of the other things that you may come across when you're out taking a long hike is, your feet might start to hurt. They might, feel a little rubbed, but not in the good foot rub kind of way, in a bad foot rub kind of way. You pop your boot off, and all of a sudden there's this weird liquid-filled bulbous mound on your big toe. What the heck is that?
What the heck is that?
It's a blister, Molloy. So blisters basically form from continued rubbing, a continued kind of friction against the skin. So what you want to do is take something like moleskin. Moleskin is not actual real moleskin. It kind of just looks like weird furry leather. So what you want to do is take the moleskin and basically cut out like a donut-shaped hole in the middle of it. That's the size of your blister, okay? And then slap it right around it. Because what the moleskin does is it raises the point of contact from where that rubbing was happening, so that your blister will be further protected, and hopefully you won't have any more irritation. All right, now, Molloy, here's the big question. Do you want to pop a blister?
Absolutely not. That's the worst thing you could do when you've got a blister. If you pop your blister, that only increases the likelihood of that wound being infected or even leaving a scar from where the blister was. So by not popping the blister, you're letting it heal on its own, and what the moleskin does is it helps the blister be able to heal on its own without being rubbed on a bunch.
Hey, Molloy. In the winter times, does your nose get a little irritated? Does it get, would you say, a little dry?
I would say perhaps.
Have you ever noticed a little dribble of blood pop out that nose?
Once or twice, I'd say so.
From time to time?
From time to time in the winter.
Molloy, nosebleeds really stink.
Yes, they do.
But, luckily, they are really, really easy to take care of. Common thought would say, pinch your sinus and tilt the head back. But that's silly. That's wrong. Do you know why that's wrong? We're going to tell you. It's because, actually, your nasal cavity and your mouth cavity are connected. Okay, and so what can happen is by tilting your head back, the blood can actually seep down the back of your nose and down into your throat, and people have choked on their own blood this way. Very gross, very nasty, but it can happen. And so instead what you're going to want to do is take a gauze pad or a bundle of tissues, fold them up, and kind of hold them right over your upper lip like a mustache, and then push it up and pinch so that you're covering your nostrils, and so that'll prevent the blood from further dripping out from your nose. By doing this, the blood will start to clot in your nose, so you'll just want to hold the gauze right there until it feels like the blood has stopped dripping. Then what you can do afterwards is take a Q-tip and dip it in some Vaseline or some Aquaphor and stick it up your nostril, not too far, just like a little bit, and kind of rub it around in there so that you can kind of rehydrate and moisten your sinuses and hopefully prevent further nosebleeds. Just the big thing, don't tilt your head back, then wait it out, put a little Aquaphor in there, you should be okay. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Backyard Blazerzone. This is part 1 of 2 of Simple First Aid, and there will be even more first aid videos coming out very, very soon. So keep checking back to the Northeast Illinois Council YouTube page, and I cannot wait for you guys to see what comes next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.